story. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a handsome and brave young prince.
Dear friend, people are praising you for your bravery and might. But it is about time that you need a lady by your side.
The king and the queen were extremely proud of the prince. There was something which bothered the king and queen. The prince just wouldn't find any lady suitable to get married. The king and queen were upset as they didn't know what to do. The king decided to find a solution to this problem by seeking help from the kingdom's wise old sage.
Your Holiness, I have come before you with something that ails my heart. I have shown the prince so many beautiful maidens, but he doesn't seem to find anyone suitable to get married.
Fear not, wise king, for your son is soon going to meet his soulmate. But finding this princess is not an easy feat. Several years ago, there lived a good king and queen. The kingdom was at peace, and their people prosperous. To add to their joy, a little daughter was born to the queen. The king arranged a splendid christening feast for his little daughter. Everyone had been invited to the christening from far and wide, including all the good fairies. 12 lovely fairies came forward to bless the adorable child.
The most beautiful woman in the world. My gift shall be everlasting happiness. Sadness shall never find its place near you. The princess shall be bold and brave. Sweet nature. Honesty. Love. Good health.
However, just when the 12th fairy stepped forward to bless the little baby, a strong wind blew, and the castle was filled with smoke. The king had forgotten to call the 13th fairy. Her face had turned red in anger.
How dare you call everyone except me? Did you know that there are not 12, but 13 fairies in the kingdom? Why am I the only fairy to be left out?
Pardon me, O fairy. I have made a grave mistake by not inviting her.
I have a special gift for this baby. The princess shall indeed grow in grace and beauty, beloved by all who know her. But on her 15th birthday, the princess will prick her finger with a spindle and shall fall asleep forever.
Seize that creature at once!
A stunned silence fell upon the castle, and nothing was the same as before. Just then, the 12th fairy looked at the baby and said,
My little princess, it's true that I cannot undo the mischief that the 13th fairy has done, but a ray of hope still lies in the gift I give to thee. For you will indeed prick your finger and fall into deep sleep. But I promise that the princess will not sleep forever, but for 100 years.
Oh, kind fairy, I am eternally grateful to you.
Oh, kind fairy, allow us to see our child get married. For I won't be able to see my child merely sleeping for so long. Please have pity on us, O fairy. Do not grieve, sweet queen. The moment the princess goes to sleep, every creature in the castle will fall asleep, only to wake after 100 years, all except the princess. For the princess shall remain in deep slumber until a prince finds her. The brave prince will have to fight many odds to find and awaken the princess. Thank you, oh fairy!
The 12th fairy had averted the bad from happening, but everyone still feared for the little princess. The king immediately commanded that all spindles in the kingdom should be burned. Years went by, and the little princess grew up to be the most beautiful, gifted, and gracious maiden in all the world. Soon the time for the princess's 15th birthday drew near, and the entire kingdom began the preparations. A splendid feast had been arranged for, and everyone rejoiced in the castle. But the very next day, a messenger had come to share the news that the queen's mother was gravely ill. The queen called her most loyal servant and asked her to take good care of the princess.
Oh, wow! That's such a pretty butterfly.
Chasing the pretty butterfly, the princess entered an unknown stone tower.
Good old woman. Have you seen a pretty butterfly around? No, my child. What's that odd thing over there? I am spinning, my pretty child. Would you like to try it? Oh, I'd love to try it, for I've never seen such a thing in my life.
The excited princess had just taken the spindle in her hand when the spindle pricked her finger. The curse of the 13th fairy was upon the poor princess. The princess instantly fell down on the floor.
Finally! The king and queen will realize the blunder they had made by avoiding me.
The servant couldn't find the princess anywhere and panicked. She started looking for the princess in every nook and corner of the castle. The king and queen returned to the castle and learned about their missing daughter. The king commanded a thorough check for the princess. At last, he reached the tower and found his beloved daughter lying on the floor. The king wept bitterly.
My sweet child, what has happened to you?
The evil fairy's harsh words has come true. We have lost our sweet little child. Let us take our daughter from here. I will dress her in the finest attires and jewelries.
The king called all the 12 fairies. The fairies dressed the princess in the finest attires and adorned her bed with sweet-smelling flowers. The fairies made a short prayer.
Almighty and all-powerful one, please hear our prayers. As we call the symbol of bravery and love to break the spell.
Let's go to our places before the fairies chant their prayers.
The fairies chanted their prayers, and soon sleep fell upon the enchanted castle. The fire that used to blaze at the furnace stopped flickering. Horses in the stable, pigeons cooing on the trees, all fell asleep. Stormy clouds gathered, and thunder cracked open the sky. Several brave young men took upon the quest and tried to force their way through the thick hedge, but no one has succeeded to date. Some even lost their lives.
Prince, I have some news for you. A beautiful princess will enter your life, but you must find her soon. You will have to endure many hardships on the way.
Oh!
I will find her, father. But Could you tell me her name? She is known by the name Sleeping Beauty.
100 years were soon going to be over. The brave prince fought through the hedge endlessly for hours. Finally, the prince reached the castle that was so creepily silent. The guards were lying outside the castle doors.
Eh? What a strange place and time to sleep.
I'm glad that at least these men are alive.
The prince entered the castle to find more guards sleeping, and the king and queen sleeping on their thrones. The prince was puzzled, but decided to look for the princess. At last, the prince came to the chamber of the beautiful princess. The prince was stunned by her sight.
She looks so lovely. Get married to her already. How beautiful you two would look.
Never in my life have I seen a maiden so beautiful. My heart tells me she is the one I have been looking for all along.
Well done, my boy.
The prince touched the princess's hands, and that was the end of the spell. At that very moment, everyone in the castle awoke. The king and queen, the horses, the pigeons, the fire, and everything that had been sleeping was now awake and alive.
Is it you, my prince? I've been dreaming about you for so long.
My fair lady, I have fallen in love with you. Will you accept my proposal?
Yes, of course. How great thy courage was. You saved my life.
Time for me to go.
The princess gave the prince her hand, and they happily went into the castle hall. The king invited the prince's father to the castle so that all of them could give their blessings to the bride and groom.
Oh, my lovely daughter is back! My happiness knows no bounds!
Oh, I am so happy. My daughter is here. I am so happy to see the prince and princess.
Rejoice, everyone, for this is indeed a joyous occasion. I am happily giving my daughter's hand to this brave and valiant prince.
Oh, I'm happy for you, my boy.
The magical flour mill. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived two brothers. The elder brother was a rich merchant, while the younger brother was a poor woodcutter.
Mom, I'm really hungry.
Yes, son, your father will come. He's gone to sell the wood in the city market. Today he must have surely made some money. What? You couldn't sell the wood even today? I cannot see our son going to sleep on a hungry stomach every day.
Father, I'm really hungry. I've not eaten anything since morning.
On seeing his son crying, the woodcutter was heartbroken. He thought of his rich brother and wondered if he should borrow some money from him.
My brother will definitely help me.
Why are you here again? What do you want?
Dear brother, could you please lend me some money? My son is hungry since morning, and today I haven't been able to sell a single wood in the market.
You are a lazy person who does not want to work hard. Stop fooling people by making up these stories.
I am telling the truth. Please believe me.
I don't want to listen to your sob stories. Just leave.
The woodcutter didn't want to go back home empty-handed, so he decided to go to the forest and pluck some juicy fruits for his son. The woodcutter happened to spot an old woodcutter along the way. This old man was struggling to lift a bundle of wood.
I will help you lift the bundle. What happened, son? Why do you look so worried? My son is starving, and here I am, unable to sell even a single wood. I work so hard. Yet I failed to feed my wife and son.
On listening to the young man's plight, the old woodcutter felt really bad.
Thank you, son, for helping me out. And as a reward, I want to help you so that you become successful. I am giving you this basket of bread. I want you to deliver it to the house of dwarves who live in the midst of dense forest. Now go straight ahead from the path, and you will see 3 fruit-bearing trees. And as you go further ahead, you will find a small cottage that belongs to 2 dwarves. The moment they see the basket of bread in your hands, the dwarves will grant you a boon. You must quickly ask for Magical Flour Mill. Magical Flour Mill? Yes, and that is exactly what will redeem you from your difficulties.
The young man thanked the old woodcutter from his heart and went looking for the dwarf's cottage. But the moment the dwarves saw the man, their anger knew no bounds.
Who are you? And what do you want? Get out of this house!
I am so sorry. I wanted to go to a merchant's house, but I got in here by mistake.
Wait. This man has a basket of bread with him. Give us the basket.
No, I cannot give this basket to you. This bread is the reward of my hard work.
Listen, give us that basket. We shall give you loads of money in exchange.
No, I do not want money. I want that flour mill.
The dwarves gave the woodcutter the magical flour mill.
This is a magical flour mill, young man. You can procure any food item that you wish. But remember to cover it with the red cloth after your wish is fulfilled. Else, the consequences won't be good.
The woodcutter went back home, only to find his wife and son upset and starving. Without wasting any time, the woodcutter wished for cereals from the magical flour mill.
Magical flour mill, please grant me 5 sacks full of cereals.
The flour mill magically fulfilled his wish. The woodcutter and his family had their meal happily. With the help of the magical flour mill, the woodcutter obtained sacks of cereals. And every day, he would go and sell the cereals in the nearby market. And he began making lots of money. The woodcutter soon built a beautiful house for his family. Their happiness filled the place. The woodcutter's elder brother couldn't bear to see his siblings' prosperity. Now all he cared for was to know the secret behind his success.
I will soon discover the secret behind your wealth and prosperity, and I will become richer than you.
I want some cereals for me and my family.
So Magical Flour Mill is behind all this? I will earn so much with the help of this flour mill.
That day, as soon as the woodcutter left for the market, the elder brother cunningly stole the flour mill away.
We need to leave this place soon.
The elder brother took the magical flour mill and set on a sea journey with his wife and son. In the middle of the journey, the elder brother couldn't resist the urge to use the flour mill. The elder brother closed his eyes and wished for salt. The wish was granted immediately, but the level of salt kept increasing. He had no clue how to stop the magical flour mill. Alas, the weight of the salt drowned their ship. So, friends, the moral of the story is, do not be envious of others.